to the JJ and Pug Show. This is November 26, 2024, part 2, recording from the Highland Communities Podcast Studios. Oh, I had to get that out because I knew this was coming in. This is Chaotic by Memphis Mayfire.
Another one that was in your algorithm after I sent you.
Actually, no, this one came beforehand. My kids sing this song all the time. They have no idea what it means. They're like, Dad, what's Chaotic mean? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's just really cool.
Just sing.
Oh yeah, it's easy to sing along to. It's crazy. Like this is a great workout song to me. Like, dude, it gets going crazy real hard. Anyway, so this is a sports podcast. For those of you who do not want to listen to us talk about sports, listen anyway.
Yeah, because we got stuff to talk about.
And you may learn something.
Crazy week of Week 12 football, I think it is.
Let's just get it right out of the gate. This is a great song to talk about a chaotic song. That Commanders-Cowboys game was straight drunk.
It was out of control. It was an emotional roller coaster, bro.
Made no sense. Zero sense.
So the night or two before, my buddy calls me. He's a Redskins fan, right? And he's like, so are we betting? I was like, of course you would call and want to bet because your team is legit. Yeah. And my team is, all second string. But he said, you know what? In the nature of just good sportsmanship, yes, I'll bet you lunch. We'll bet. So he's like, all right. I'm like, I go into this weekend thinking, I know I'm going to pay him lunch. And you know what? It's fine. I'm doing L. Like, it's fine. Bro, that game, I don't know how. But, it's to be said that you played sports. Yeah. It doesn't matter how good both teams are, how bad they are. When it's a rivalry game, an in-conference rivalry game, anything can happen.
Okay, so and we'll talk about the Cardinals later, but that's another prime example of it. When you're going into rivalry games, teams you play regularly all the time, that they know you play twice a year in the NFL.
And you hate each other.
And your fan bases hate each other. And listen to this part. This is what was going on in that game. Didn't make any sense.
It's just all over the place.
Yeah, it's all over. Straight up chaotic.
And you know what's funny is that game was boring up in the first three quarters.
Well, I think I saw that it was 13-9 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Bro, there was at one point there was the two kickers were 1 for 4 together in field goals in the NFL.
And Brandon Arbery is the best kicker we've had since Justin Tucker.
Offensive player we have on the team. He's responsible for the most, and he missed 1 or 2 field goals, and you're like, what?
He's actually had a bit of a rough run right
now. Well, he's just done. I think it's just at some point you got to cool off. At some point, he was on such a heater, dude.
Yeah, but even still, him and I think kickers wide have actually had a rough weekend. Yeah. But he specifically has had a rough couple games.
Yeah.
It's been very weird to watch him play.
But that last the last minute and a half, bro.
I'm almost positive. I want to say that the score was 13-9 with with 5+ minutes or something like that. The ending score was 34-26.
And it was out of control.
It was insane. There was essentially another Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels.
That was after Turpin's.
Right, okay. Oh yeah, then go with that. Turpin hit the B button.
Yeah. I love that analogy they use. He hit the best B. Yes. He had the hardest B button push ever
of all time. Yeah. One spin after he drops the kickoff. That's supposed to be.
He picks it up on the 1.
Yes, that's supposed to be a death knell. Yeah. The play is over. You're like, oh my gosh, he dropped the kickoff. We're screwed. He's gonna get tackled at the 5.
I thought it immediately. I'm like, oh, we're screwed, dude.
Housed it. Housed it, dude. Later. Like I said, B button, spin, gone.
Gone. And he is the fastest man in the NFL right now. They said that when he was running.
They said when he ran. And I think he actually holds the record right now for the fastest time that anyone's actually run, the fastest miles per hour.
I watched Bill Belichick on the Pat McAfee show. He goes, why people continue to kick to him, I'll never understand. He's the last guy you want to kick the ball to because you're giving him a shot by putting the ball in his hands.
Yeah, dude, it was incredible. Okay, the thing that's incredible about it is he made one move. He run
straight up.
It's just he found a seam, hit it, gone. Yeah. And then basically again a Hail Mary situation where Jaden Daniels hits Terry McLaurin
of all people, and you drop 8 in coverage. You've got 3 lines.
Dropped 8 in coverage,
and you let a guy seam down the sideline.
86 yards.
Oh my god!
That should not be possible?
It was out of control.
Okay, and then their kicker misses the extra point.
And I know I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. So
then what's got to happen in today's NFL, which is the onside, the way that they've done the kickoffs now, I hate it because onside kicks are stupid. It's coming, totally prepared for it. Can't do anything crazy or creative. They housed an onside kick.
Which almost, I was like, you idiot. Like,
I know.
Now you got to kick the ball back to them. Like, just lay down. But I mean, the guy on special teams, you want to score in the NFL, right? Like, so you can't be mad at him. I'm taking it back too. Yeah.
I can't. It's like the same thing with like a big guy finds a fumble and he picks it up to go house it. You know you shouldn't do it. You're going to get tackled, probably going to fumble the ball, but you can't get mad at him.
You can't get mad at him. He held on to that ball. He'll have the ball forever. He can literally say he scored a touchdown in a game as a Dallas Cowboy. So you know what? Like, that may be the only time he gets ever any kind of recognition.
He may never touch the ball ever again in a game. That's a big deal. But like I said, just an insane, drunk, stupid ending to that game.
Out of control, dude.
It was also dumb because, dude, let me ask you this honest question, honest feeling as a Cowboys fan. How do you feel now? You got like 5 wins.
No, like I'm like, throw the season.
Yes. Like
don't bother anymore. Get rid of Mike McCarthy. He needs to go. And I think he's out. I think he's out.
I actually was holding on to this for this. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he's out, dude. He has
Listen to this. This is a story that came across today. McCarthy could return in 25. Cowboys Jerry Jones open to extending coach, quote, I don't think that's crazy at all, unquote.
Yeah, but that's just Jerry Jones not wanting to see, because you can't say it out loud that I'm not going to in the middle of the season, because what's Mike McCarthy going to do? Not care.
You can say that. How long was Jason Garrett your coach?
I know, but I'm thinking, I don't know, dude. I just can't handle him.
Jerry Jones has I'll tell you, call it good or call it terrible, however you want to call it, track record of being insanely patient with coaches.
I know he's an idiot. He's the problem with the organization.
The thing that drives me nuts about that, it'd be one thing if they listen, who else are you going to hire? Mike Vrabel's out there.
Bill Belichick
is out there. Okay? You've got 2 bona fide good head coaches. One considered to be the all-time greatest.
Imagine, like, I think if Bill Belichick comes back and the Cowboys have the talent. It's never been about talent.
Yeah, no, they got talent on the team,
dude. If he can turn that organization around, dude, he becomes the most winningest head coach ever.
I think Bill Belichick wouldn't touch the Cowboys with a 10-foot pole.
You never know.
I don't think I say 10 foot. That's probably way too short. He's not touching him with a 39.5-foot pole. It's Christmas time. Yeah. He's not doing it. And the reason why? Who's in charge?
Yeah, but I think if anybody could tell Jerry to sit that, down.
I don't think anybody's going to tell Jerry.
I know, but if there was going to be somebody, I would put my money on Bill Belichick, because I'd be like, hey, listen, 6 championships, dynasty, you can go take a seat in your owner's box, and when I need you, I'll call you. But if that's not what you want, don't hire me.
And I think that would be the first thing where Jerry says, okay, goodbye.
And
He's not going to let it. Dude, he didn't let the coaches that were winning Super Bowls be in charge or take any credit for it. There's no chance. He's not giving that up now. He's even more entrenched in his ways.
Ugh, he's so terrible.
I'm just glad he's not my owner. And I've given him his flowers. I like to dump on him because I hate the Cowboys. It's fun to do it. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it would be very hard to be a fan of that team knowing the person who is in charge of every aspect of the team has no interest in changing, and what he's been doing is not working.
Yeah.
And it hasn't worked since 1995. The 95 season, 96 Super Bowl. Hasn't worked since then. So, whatever.
I don't even care.
He's stuck to it. Anyway, so that was a freaking nuts game. And now we're talking about the Cardinals game. That was one of the most anemic, depressing.
Did they lose to the Seahawks?
I never. Lost 16-6. Okay. What is the one thing that you and I have talked about consistently on probably the best way to make sure that Kyler Murray is successful?
Throw the ball to Marvin Harrison.
Well, I wish they would do that. We said run the ball, right?
Yeah.
Run the ball.
You have to.
They ran the ball 14 times.
You can't put the ball in Kyler's hands. You can't.
Listen, any quarterback wants a running game.
You have to have it.
Dude, 42 dropbacks to pass the ball, okay? The offensive line they were doing a terrible job of pass protection.
Called lookout blocking.
Huh?
It's called lookout blocking.
Yeah, they were doing a bad job. They were not doing a good job. So what do? Run the ball. And the thing is, it'd be one thing if we were down 21-3 going into the third.
And you need to score.
Dude, it was 7-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
7-3. Okay? Up until this last game, the Cardinals were the only team that had scored a touchdown on every single goal-to-go possession that they had all season. That stopped because they stopped running the ball. Now, the thing that drives me nuts about it is like, okay, I think James Conner got 8 yards on 7 carries, and most of that came on 1 carry, but that's only 7 carries. You only gave the guy You didn't even give him 10 shots.
Your
best running back.
Yeah.
He's a physically bruising running back. Did you watch the game last night where Derrick Henry just owned the Chargers? Owned them. Owned them.
No, but I'm not surprised.
And that's because that's what he does. You just feed him the ball. Maybe he's going to have a carry or 2 or 3 or 4 of 1 yard. But then he's going to break a 40-yarder or a 10-yarder or a 15. Like, it's going to happen. I couldn't believe what I was watching that game. The Cardinals just completely abandoned the run game. Didn't even try it in a close game. It was a close game. They lost by 10 points, dude. And it's really hard to get behind a team that abandons what they want to be their personality so quickly.
And they frustrate me. I mean, they're not a big fan of. I mean, I'm a fan, but I'm not a fan. But it's just, it is what it, I mean. You sit there and like, why do you abandon something that's been working for you the past few weeks? Like, I don't understand the logic because you saw something on film and this team's not as good on a pass game. Just run the dang ball.
Well, and that's actually the thing that's also even more frustrating about it is the Seahawks were one of the worst teams in the league against the run.
It reminds me of Blindside when she calls Bert, the coach, run the dang ball.
Yeah, but I mean, I just get frustrated by that, dude. It's just annoying to me that because all of the hope and positivity is not gone. I still believe that they're going to get it together. Now, this week they got a real tough thing in front of them. They got to go to Minnesota to play the Vikings. And the Vikings, they haven't lost that magic, man. They're still doing very well.
They have not.
And Sam Darnold, good for you, dude. You've turned your career around, and it looks like you actually have turned it around.
I thought he got hurt, too. He hurt his ankle, but he came out of it okay.
Like I didn't know that.
He just got tackled. The guy, nothing bad. He threw the ball away as the guy was tackling. You know how their feet get caught up underneath him? He tweaked his ankle, went out for a play. And then the backup comes in and throws a dime right across the middle to the next guy, and he gets first down or whatever. And then I think he comes back in. So wasn't too bad, but he was definitely in some pain.
Okay, so then there's that. So we got to go against and play them in Minnesota, which that's a tough place to play. Good fan base there. And then we come back and we play the Seahawks again at home. Like, not all is lost. We still are tied for first in the NFC because the Rams and the 49ers got absolutely destroyed in their games, which...
Rams, that's the game we need to talk about. Saquon Barkley. If you are the Giants, you hate what you did by keeping a guy you just cut, Daniel Jones.
This is what I want to say to all of you NFC East teams. Stop giving the Eagles your stuff. Stop giving it to them. Okay? Who's the offensive coordinator for the Eagles?
Oh.
You don't know?
Not off the top of my head.
Oh, he used to be the ire of every Cowboys fan.
Who?
Kellen Moore.
Oh.
And guess what Kellen Moore's doing? A great offense. He's running the dang ball. And guess what the Cowboys are not doing? They're not running the ball.
I liked Kellen Moore when he was at Boise State.
I loved him at Boise State, dude. It was so fun to watch that
blue
team.
Turf, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude. That was a fun team to watch back in the day. Yeah. Kellen Moore, he is a really good offensive coordinator who was just given, in my opinion, the second best running back. And that's really because I think Derrick Henry's the best. And it's not because he actually is. It's because I just love watching Derrick Henry more. Saquon Barkley is a freak.
Well, he's a freak. Dude, if he keeps it up, he's going to break the single season rush record.
Yeah, he's on pace. He's on pace for it.
He's on pace to destroy it.
255 yards on Sunday night?
Dude, it's out of control.
Over 300 yards from scrimmage. That's straight video game numbers.
Yeah, by a guy who's 20, what we decide? He's 26, 27?
I think he's 26. Let's check it out here.
It's insane.
Saquon Barkley's a freak. I remember him coming out of the draft. He was a freak. He was a freak then. He's a freak now too. But the point is, what we're saying here is like the stupid Giants just give him away. We're not going to re-sign him. Dumb move. We've all seen the clip with the owner saying, I'm just going to feel really sick if he goes to another team and see him in a Giants uniform. Well, I bet that guy's feeling really terrible now.
Yeah. Because why would you get rid of your running back, dude?
The whole story was we can't afford to keep Saquon because we have to keep Daniel Jones. Hey guys. Just so you know.
You got rid of him.
You got Daniel Jones this week.
And DeVito is playing.
And Danny DeVito's playing. So instead of holding on to the best player on your team, Saquon Barkley, you went to keep the mediocrest quarterback of all time, paying him $40+ million a year. Didn't even finish out the season with that guy and cut him while Saquon's over there with the Eagles, absolutely destroying the league. Just having the best possible year he could have. And every Eagles fan is over there saying, thank you, New York. Thank you.
Yeah, for real.
And they probably actually should be saying the same thing to the Cowboys. Thank you for Kellen Moore, although I think Kellen Moore had a stop in San Diego before he went to Philly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So, anyway, and I don't know if this guy's any good, But just before the season started, the Redskins traded Jahan Dotson, their first round draft pick receiver, to the Eagles. I don't know if he's any good, but it's like, all you guys stop giving the Eagles stuff, okay? They don't need it.
No, they don't. And
he's 27 this year.
See? Baller.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, and then you see games like the Panthers almost beat the Chiefs. They go down to the last play, which you can't give Patrick Mahomes the ball and think he's not going to get in field goal range.
Oh, yeah, he's going to do it.
I knew that game was not going into overtime, but the fact that quarterback, whatever his name is, Bryce Young, actually got him in a position where they were tied going into the last drive.
Dude, Bryce Young has played quite well since he got benched.
So,
since coming around, he's actually played all right on probably the worst team in the NFL in the Panthers. He's done pretty good.
Yeah, no, especially when you battle it out with the Chiefs.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good deal.
The thing about the Chiefs is dude, at what point do you be like, hey guys, are we ever going to be able to have a game where we're not stressing in the fourth quarter? Is that ever going to happen? Because even that game against the Bills, I know it was a 9-point game, but it was 4th and 2 before Josh Allen became Superman.
Right.
So it's not like that was that big of a difference score wise as it seemed in the end.
Just so much, dude. These games this week were all that weird, man.
So, by the way,
when are you going to talk about the Lions? Let's just get it out of the way.
Okay. I heard somebody say this about the Lions, and it's probably one of the best. I wish I could remember who said it, but it was basically this. It's not personal with the Lions. They hate everyone equally. They have absolute disdain for every other team they play against.
They play with a chip on their shoulder like nobody's business, and I freaking hate that I like it.
I love it.
Well, I know. I just don't like it because I'm a Detroit fan. But it makes me like.
At least it's happening in here in which the Cowboys aren't going there.
True. That's
so. At least for me,
I really hope they win the whole thing. Just for
I want them to win
Dan
it so
Campbell
bad.
And the guys they deserve it.
I want exactly. That's what it is. They deserve it. I want them to win a championship so badly. I love the way that they've built their team. I love the way that they've built the culture of that team. Dude, it's so hardcore. It's like when you think about the early 2000s Pistons teams that were just the most hardcore, hard-nosed defensive
Ben Wallace
teams.
Days,
Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace. And for this isn't the same thing, but it's they are just as hardcore. It is a hardcore football team in Detroit.
Great running back duo between the two of them, dude. It's just you get everything you need out of a running back between the two of them.
Oh yeah,
short and long, or short and hard. You need to go downhill. Let's go. You got Montgomery.
Let's go, baby.
You want somebody out of the backfield on a
flash
or some flat. You got Boom. You've got
Gibbs.
You're like, dude, what and the thing is, Montgomery can do both.
Yeah, I think Montgomery is such an underrated running back. He is so good.
He runs so hard,
dude. He is, and he's like a freaking bowling ball. He's 5'9", 5'10", probably 230.
Off everybody,
dude. And then obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the coolest names there is in pro sports, and he's 5'10", a fury. And then you got Jared Goff. The most.
But hey, when you have all that, you can have Jared Goff.
I don't want to crap on Jared Goff because I think he's really good. It's just funny because I don't look at his personality and think of, oh, that's a hardcore dude there. Because even Tom Brady was a hardcore dude. You know what I mean? Tom had some fire to him. Jared Goff looks like that guy he's ready to go surfing the minute the game's over.
Yeah, he's not a dog.
Yeah, but he's playing like one, dude. He's playing very, very well. Even that game that he threw 5 picks in, they still won.
They're finding ways to win, and that's the thing about that's what makes his team so dangerous. Is the Detroit Lions are finding ways to win, even when our quarterback throws 5 picks.
Dude, what was that score? The final score was 24-6 or something like that, right? It was
the Lions
throttled the team.
24-6.
24-6. They throttled the Colts, and it was crazy. I felt like Anthony Richardson was actually kind of playing okay.
No,
but they just put the clamps on it, man. 24-6 doesn't sound like a huge score.
They hate everybody equally.
Yes, exactly. But considering the last week they won 52-6, I mean.
Yeah,
that's insane. Did you watch the Thursday night game, by the way, with the Browns and the Steelers?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it was a straight up snow globe. You couldn't see the broadcast because of the snow.
And you know what? Wherever I saw a view of the game from they were in a place, but it was a snow globe view.
Yeah,
did you see that?
No, I didn't. But that's cool.
It was super cool because wherever they were at, it was I don't know. I almost want to think it was in Vegas, but it probably wasn't. But it was this huge screen in the view.
Oh no, I think I know what you're talking about. It is. They have one here in Scottsdale, I think. Where it's almost like a dome style screen, but it's as if you were in the stadium.
And you're sitting there in these chairs.
Yeah, I've seen them broadcast different games doing that way.
Yeah, and it was snowing, so it was literally you were looking out of a snow globe.
Dude, that's cool.
It was really cool.
That's really cool. But it was the most. I don't know, picturesque football game when it comes to like, this is what we think of when you think of like winter football.
Frozen tundra.
Hey, the frozen tundra. And that's where I was saying when I'm watching this game, I was like, I just told Jason about this. Literally that day, the whole rest of the country plays in snow. And it happened that day. But dude, it was, Jameis Winston is such a national treasure. He is such a freaking weirdo who is hilarious. I don't know that he's intentionally hilarious though. Do you think he's
dumb?
I just think he's goofy. And
like somebody jump offside.
Yeah. Stuff like, I think he just says exactly what's on his mind.
He has no, like, there's no, like, hit the hang on way. There's no filters. There's nothing. It just comes. He thinks that he says it. And he's like, oh, shoot, I just said that.
I remember when he was in college in Florida State, he got in trouble for quote unquote stealing crab legs from a Publix grocery store. Okay. And later, when he got drafted, he was being interviewed during the draft process. He's being interviewed by John Gruden. Remember, he did like the quarterback camp.
Yeah.
And he was basically saying, "What were you thinking?" And at this point, Jameis knew he couldn't say anything in college because at that point you couldn't give anybody anything. He's like, "But what do you do when someone says you can have them?" He's like, because what do you say? He's like, "They just gave me the crab legs. They said, here, they're yours." But that's an impermissible benefit when he was in the NCAA, so he couldn't. So like. I remember thinking then, I'm like, oh man, this guy's, he's no good. He's an idiot. He's a loser. He's just stealing and taking advantage of himself. Come to find out, no, dude, he is as innocent a dude as there is who just
what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, they gave him to me. But it's also like, as the years have gone on, when you watch clips of Jameis talking, it's one of those things where this year, I think more than others that I remember, I have had a lot of joy watching Reclamation Project quarterbacks. Guys that were, it was started last year with Joe Flacco. Guys that were like on the scrap heap, forget about them, they're no good. And then they come in and they have their moment. Like, Jameis may never have another rest of the moment, but that moment on Thursday night was a big deal. Like, that was a big moment for him. And obviously, Sam Darnold, he's having his moment this year where he's turning out to be pretty solid. Like, dude, Jameis Winston's a funny guy.
He's a goof.
That's a good way. He is straight up goofy.
Yeah,
he is straight up goofy out of a Goofy movie.
Call him a goof troop, dude. He's just a goof troop, bro.
Dude. Oh, man. Remember that show? Mm-hmm. The Goof Troop? Oh, dude, I loved that show back in the day. Well, and then the Vikings continue to pour it on the Bears. The Bears thought they had a win again. In overtime, they lost it. You know, that's...
Caleb Williams. Whatever.
When was the last time we talked to Jeremy about Caleb Williams, huh?
You know what's funny is I actually talked to a guy yesterday, my daughter's coach, when she was leaving the soccer game. He had a Bears hat on.
Oh, yeah?
And they were like, he's walking over to the field and he goes, hey, we didn't bring permission slips to take the kids home. So the kids are going to have to go back to the school and you can pick them up there. I said, no, I'm taking my daughter. There's nothing you can do. Like, you can't keep my daughter. Okay. So I'm taking her. And he's like, he looks at me, looks at her, and goes, all right, I'll let you go. I'm like, yeah, you're not letting her go. And I said, it's all right, bro. I get it. You're a Bears fan, so I'm not worried because we're in a Bears hat. So he starts laughing. I said, how do you like that Caleb Williams? He goes, oh, no, I'm not a fan. I wish they wouldn't have done that. I'm like, yeah, me either, bro. Like, it's fair.
It's hard to say. He's not playing that bad.
He had a couple good like scrambling plays where he found Swift on the sideline. And that was a great play.
I saw somebody clip that throw and catch right there and said, this right here would have never happened in 2001. DeAndre Swift would have been in the hospital.
Just because they would have hit him that hard.
The safety was closing there.
They can't do that anymore.
No, we can't touch him. Yeah. Like if that was Sean.
Defenseless
what was the guy? Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor would have decapitated him.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ed Reed.
Oh, Ed Reed coming over
Chancellor.
Oh, bro, that'd be bad news, dude.
So. Not taking away from how pinpoint a throw it was and how good a catch it was.
20 years ago, that don't happen.
Yeah, it's a different game now.
20 years ago, he's waking up like 3 days later. Like, what
if he wakes up at all, dude? That would have been the play where we're like, okay, we saw somebody die on live TV. But even still, like, he's had some plays. And one of the things that I noticed, I watched not this last game, but the game before, and I remember who they were playing. I noticed in that one, he was consciously getting rid of the ball faster. He was not holding on to the ball as long as he has been all season. And I think maybe coaching's finally getting to him. I think they fired the offensive coordinator 2 weeks ago. And so I think that's something where he's starting to like, okay, you know what? I am an athlete. I'm not the best athlete out here. I can't out-athlete everybody. And maybe he's going to be the guy that everybody said he was going to be that I didn't see for a long time.
Maybe. I'm not going to say no. Anything can happen.
I just think that the last 2 weeks, I've actually been quite impressed with his change subtle, not big changes, but the little changes that I felt like
decision making.
Yes,
if you will.
I feel that it was necessary. But even in that, in a loss, they're still 4-7, and he came onto a team that won 7 games last year with Justin Fields. So, and they only got better. I mean, they added Keenan Allen, they added Roma Dunze, they added DeAndre Swift. I mean, so they got better.
Cooper.
Oh,
not Cooper. Yeah, doesn't. Who's number? Yeah, no. Is he still playing for? Who did they add? They added Keenan Allen. But who's the other receiver they have?
DJ Moore.
Yeah, they've had him.
Yeah, they had him that year.
He was the pickup. I'm thinking something. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but the point I'm trying to say, like,
yeah,
they got better, but so far they are not better.
No.
In fact, they're on pace to be the exact same team they were last year. So, what's that say about Justin Fields?
Maybe he wasn't the problem.
Yeah, I think that. The Dolphins absolutely blasted the Patriots, which was good for me.
Yeah.
I would also like to let everybody know I regret not having traded Tyreek Hill much earlier in the season because he has been an absolute dud.
Terror or no?
No, he's a dud, man. It's like, why is he even out there? Jalen Waddle's completely taken over in that offense.
Really?
Yeah, him and Jonnu Smith. Tyreek Hill
is
just
all
there.
Goes back to don't get arrested, bro. Bad karma. Yes. Maybe don't be a jerk to the police. I don't know.
Don't be an idiot. Which is funny. That's the one game he's had this year, which was really good.
Right.
Outside of that, he has been basically anonymous. Yeah. So, and I thought maybe it was because the Tua wasn't the quarterback. Nope. Turns out he's just like a decoy now for Jalen Waddle and Jonnu Smith to get the ball. And dude, Raheem Mostert, that guy he's the sole reason why I'm losing this season so badly. Speaking of which, I don't know who this is in our league. The person that played me this last week.
Who is it?
I gotta see it. You have to tell me who it is.
It's got to be my brother-in-law.
It is your brother-in-law. I beat him.
What? Oh, you know what? In his defense, he's been moving across country. I bet you didn't even pay attention.
Zero.
Suck it,
I am not giving him any credit.
You lost to the worst.
Lost.
Oh, my gosh. You lost to a guy that plays with most Cardinal players. Devin, listen, bro.
I have 3 wins on the season now. Okay? I beat him with all Cardinals. That's my team again.
That's embarrassing.
And the Cardinals scored 6 points yesterday.
Jeez, dude.
I just think it was funny. Anytime that I beat anybody, I just want to be like, that doesn't feel good, does it? So, Devin, you lost to me.
The person I care about beating in our league is Kara. And every year that we played, we've always split, so neither one of us can talk trash.
I actually think I beat her to the one time I played her this season.
But I just wait because we both just sit back and just win the first one. It's fine, but who wins the second one is what matters.
That's what really matters.
It's either going to be a sweep or we're tied. We can't talk crap to each other. So,
all right. So the Buccaneers. Speaking of reclamation projects, people that I'm happy to see having good years.
Baker
is a dog.
I love that.
He is a dog. I
love how he hustled. He's up there winning by a 10, and he's still hustling downfield to throw a block.
Dude, he is sprinting down the field, dude. I was telling this to my buddy. I remember in the draft when Baker was coming out. It was Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, and Josh Rosen, and Lamar Jackson. Those are the 5 quarterbacks taken in that first round. You know, Baker was number 1. And I remember before that, everyone saying it was going to be Sam Darnold. Nobody knew who was going to be number 1. And I remember telling my buddy Zach, who's been on the show a couple times up in Denver, it's like, I don't know that I want Baker to be the pick for the Cardinals because I didn't really know much, but I was like, there's no quarterback I like more than that guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's such a hardcore dude for a quarterback. He's, like I said, he's a dog, man.
And he struggled, but he turned his whole career around. And he... Amazing what happens when you get out of Cleveland. Out of Cleveland, yeah.
And you know what? This is, again, a huge, I don't know, dump on the Cleveland Browns. Guys, he took you to the playoffs. He won a playoff game in Cleveland. And you decided now we'd rather have Deshaun Watson. And that has completely backfired, and you deserve every ounce of that backfire, Cleveland front office. Because Baker Mayfield was not your problem. In fact, when he was in Cleveland, was he like the greatest quarterback of all time? No, but that dude played hurt.
Yeah.
He played through every injury to be on the field because he's a freaking dog.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. Have you heard of that show? It's with Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman. They're called Dudes on Dudes.
Yeah.
You started listening to it?
It's funny.
Dude, I really like it.
Rob Gronkowski.
Rob Gronkowski.
He was telling a story about how when he was at University of Arizona, when they had to do a college recruit with him one time and he got chased by a helicopter and they were hiding under a car.
Yeah, and he's like, and I totally thought he was coming to Arizona. I totally thought he was going to do it.
And he became a devil.
I went to ASU instead.
And he goes, I never saw him again. And then years later, 2016, I'm on the Patriots.
Yes. Dude, I like that show. I think it's pretty cool. The one that they did on Baker, they were like, obviously all they do is talk good about these guys. They're not up there to, talk crap on them. But like the way that they talked about them, they're like, yeah, dude, he's a dog. He is a straight up dog. Like they have like different categories for what they call these dudes, right? And I freaking love it. I'm so happy to see Baker Mayfield having the year he's having.
Yeah, he's doing great.
So they crushed the Giants, by the way, 30-7. We talked about that crazy Cowboys Commanders. We talked about the Chiefs Panthers.
I think we covered all of them.
Dude, I'm going to keep on saying what I'm saying about CJ Stroud. He's having a serious sophomore slump.
He's having a sophomore slump. We'll see what happens.
It is for real. And it's funny in the sense that I just saw this come across again. You remember the clip when they played the Commanders or the Bears earlier in the yeyear? And CJ Stroud beat Caleb Williams. And he's talking to Caleb as if he's like a 10-year vet. It's like, hey, don't worry about it, man. You'll get there. You just know that greatness is all in you. And at the time, I kind of thought, that seems a little bit premature to be doing that. But you know what? He did have a really good year. And I almost want to be like, you haven't arrived just yet, CJ. Like,
you haven't.
You got some work to do still. The Titans, which are a really bad offensive team, I mean, Will Levis continues to be like the strangest quarterback out there. Threw a pick six, yet they still won the game. And, the Texans are now 7-5. I think they're still leading their division, but 7-5 that's not great. The Broncos, how about them Broncos? Now they played the Raiders, which, Raiders suck. Winning. But they are winning, dude. They're 7-5 now. Mm-hmm. They're just barely behind the Chargers and the Chiefs. Packers absolutely destroyed the 49ers, but the 49ers, they're beat to crap.
And they don't have Purdy.
Purdy didn't play. I don't think Deebo Samuel played. I don't think Nick Bosa or Trent Williams played.
Kittle played. Bosa did not. Yeah, you're right.
So, they were missing a lot of their guys.
No.
But it's looking like it's just going to be the year from hell for them.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's hurt. And we already talked about the Eagles. Yeah, that's it, dude. Oh, and the Ravens and Chargers, man. We watched that game last night. I love Derrick Henry. Love watching him play. The thing that is really surprising to me is if I were to ask you, which team do you think is the most penalized team in the NFL? What would be your guess?
You always want to say like some team like the Chargers or like the Bengals or something like that, right? That's what you want to say.
You want to say like a crap team like maybe the Jets or the Browns, like somebody that's just in the crapper. But dude, it's the freaking Ravens.
Offsides,
just most penalized. Every penalty in the book got called last night in the Ravens.
When you're getting penalized in a game, okay, this is a legitimate, and it segues perfect, though. It's a question, though. Do they count most penalties against a team when their offsetting penalties happen?
No, those don't count at all.
So they don't count against you as a team being penalized. It's just and I know it's a redo the down, which segues into what you have written down is why you hate them.
The thing I hate about offsetting penalties is, let's say in that play, you get a pass interference, which could be a 50-yard penalty because it's a spot play, right? Where did the pass interference occur? It could be a 99-yard play. It's not going to be, but in theory, it could be. But then the other team has a
5-yard
penalty. Yeah, exactly. Like, how could those be offsetting? Like, it should be, okay, we're going to take 5, give you 90 or whatever it is. I just think offsetting penalties is a stupid thing to do because they're not. If there's two unsportsmanlike conducts, get it. They're 15-yard penalties, understood, offsetting. But if one is a defensive holding for 5 yards and an automatic first down, and the other one is a 10-yard holding penalty by the offense, it should be we're going back 5 yards, and we're not giving an automatic first down. Like I feel like that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be an automatic offsetting penalty if both teams commit the foul. The one that's committing the worst foul,
more egregious one,
right? Hey, good word there. More egregious foul should be the one that gets penalized the most.
I'm halfway edumacated.
Am I crazy?
No, I don't disagree with you. It is kind of weird when you think about how it literally. That's a great example. A pass interference could be an 80-yard PI in the end zone.
Yeah.
And then now your offensive lineman has put an illegal hands to the face.
Or set up wrong. He was maybe a yard
illegal shift.
Yes.
Something stupid.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh no, penalties are offset. We play the down.
Yeah, that happened a couple of times last night in a couple of other games I watched where I'm like, dude, those aren't offsetting penalties. One guy just came in your headhunting, targeting, and the other person just lined up incorrectly.
Yeah.
Like illegal procedure, like that kind of thing. I don't know. It's not something that I've heard a whole lot of talk about. So clearly, I'm the only one that really cares about it.
No, I think it's just been such part of the game for so long. It's kind of like, I don't think that was instituted or implemented anytime after the game. I think that's just creation of the game was, hey, look, if you commit a penalty, you commit a penalty, we're scratching and you're starting and you get to play the down again.
I'll say to the credit, it's been that way for as long as I can remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember a point at which it was the case.
No.
But I think, I don't know. I think it needs to be revisited. That's about the only thing I think that really does. But it's like, listen, a 5-yard defensive holding penalty versus a 10-yard offensive holding penalty, those shouldn't offset. I also have always had a problem with a 5-yard holding penalty being an automatic first down.
On defense.
I think that's crazy.
And I think what they do is they give you the benefit of if you caught the ball, you might have gotten away and ran for a touchdown or whatever. And there's no way you'd never know. So to give you the benefit of the doubt, it's kind of like tie goes to the runner, I think, in the MLB, right? They're just going to give you a first down no matter what. It's like being safe. Hey, look, your tie, we could call you out. We're going to give you safe. We're going to give you a first down to start over.
I just really don't like automatic first down penalties.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because there's only one penalty that the offense has to sacrifice a down, and that's intentional grounding.
Yeah.
Right? But why is a defense? I mean, there's tons of penalties that are automatic first down for the defense.
Pass interference, holding, illegal touching, illegal contact.
Yes. And it's like illegal hands to the face. It's like, dude, automatic first down. If the offense does an illegal hands to the face, it's a 10-yard penalty. Yeah. Replay the down. Like, it's, I don't know. Not replay the down, but you know what I mean? Like,
no, yeah.
Actually, with offensive holding, it is.
Yeah, they replay the down. But most of them are replay the down.
Yeah, and I know that we're in a game that likes to, incentivize the offense, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you're really penalizing the defense. Yeah. Like, it is not equal. So, last thing we wanted to say is that Bronny should have always been in the G League. Yeah. And earlier,
he's struggling.
Yeah. You showed, what was the stat line you read earlier?
He had 4 points. He was 2 for 10 for shooting, and I think he had 3 assists.
Yeah.
And it's in the G League. He's having a hard time keeping up. So, yeah. I mean, it's great. He got to play with his dad. Like, I don't think anybody would take anything away from that. If you have kids, it's just a long-time goal. It's great. But your name can only get you so far, and he is not performing at even a G League level right now.
No, and everybody has a bad game. That's true. Let's not pretend like, even a great center had a bad game. He was not
great in college. He was not great at USC. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
He was very replaceable.
Subpar. Yeah.
He was very replaceable.
He wasn't rememberable.
And the thing is, everybody gave him a pass then. They're saying, well, he's coming back from cardiac arrest. Like, he's not all the way back yet. Let's,
Instead, they should have been saying, well, he's only 6'2". Like, it's going to be really hard for him to be anything good. Like, I mean, the greats.
Unless he's going to be an elite defender. Like,
that's all you got.
Yeah.
Or a supreme passer, right? Because Steve Nash wasn't an elite defender, but he was a floor general.
Oh, and the guy was a killer with a shot.
Yeah, he was
super accurate
shot. Yeah.
And so, you got to have an elite something to be in the professional leagues. You have to be elite at something. And right now it's looking like Bronny is a very good basketball player at Lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, he would crush at Lifetime Fitness. And I feel like I'm talking crap. I can't do this. But at the same time, it's like, unless you develop to be an elite passer, an elite ball handler, an elite defender. Because, I mean, you can be an elite guard defender at 6'1". You can do it
for sure.
But unless you're going to be elite at something like that, like you can't get into the NBA by being a guy that's kind of good at things.
No,
like you got to be elite at something.
Kind of good. That's it. You're like, nah, you're not. Sorry.
Yeah, especially when you don't have size. Yeah, you can be kind of good if you got size.
If you're Yao Ming, he was kind of good at the beginning, but he was 7'4", so it didn't matter.
7'5", 6", whatever it was.
Yeah, so it didn't matter. We could just get in the ball, and he was okay, but we could make him better.
Yeah, he's good enough because he's got the size.
Yeah,
we can work with what you've got and maybe develop that into something. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, not a lot of guys grow beyond 6'1" when they're 20 years old.
He's not.
I think he's kind of done growing. But that's all we got. So that's part 2. And we talked a lot of football there. That was a
good football one.
Yeah, there was a lot of breakdown there. We haven't talked about the Suns because they've had the last 5 days off since the last time we were on. We haven't played, actually. And tonight they play. They play the Lakers. And the good news is they've got Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant in the lineup tonight. So fingers crossed we beat the Lakers. At any day, I want to beat the Lakers. But secondly, we come out of that with health. Like nobody's certain.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, that's it. Stay fresh, you cheese bags.
And like both my kids in dodgeball, we're out.
Dude, I love how Ava totally gets a pass. She's not out. Ava, you're in. No, love the picture.
She's athletic. She's an athlete.
JJ and Pug Show theme song was written, composed, and performed by Lane Hartman. Special thanks to Highland Communities for all the support given to our show. You can find the JJ and Pug Show podcast wherever you do listen to podcasts. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Remember to share the show with your friends and family and subscribe wherever you do listen. If you're able to, please feel free to support us by sending a donation to us by going to ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. That is ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for all the support, whether that is by simply listening, whether that is sharing it with a friend, or giving us that sweet, sweet cash. We truly appreciate it all. Thank you so much.